Well, I was not expecting this. Yes, we have a big PlayStation Store sale running right now, so I wasn't expecting Sony to run a new deal, but what can they do? They can refresh that sale to add more deals to it. Yes, we have a refresh on the summer sale that is adding some major deals to the sale, including some deals on some very recent releases, new lows on a lot of games, so I want to go over some of the new deals that have been added. Let's try to get through this relatively quickly. Right off the bat, you'll notice Final Fantasy VII Remake is at a new low. It's getting its first discount, actually, $39.59. Now, there's so much to talk about with Final Fantasy VII Remake. Some people absolutely adored it. They think it's their favorite game of the year. Other people are not too happy about the changes. I'll say that right off the bat. If you're, like, living under a rock and don't know, there are some changes to Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm not going to tell you what those changes are, comparatively speaking, to the original game. I personally am a big fan of it. Look, it might end up being a train wreck, given that some of the Square Enix storylines recently have been kind of questionable. You know, Kingdom Hearts 3 was not something to write home about. However, I played Final Fantasy VII. I know the story of that game, and if you want to make some alterations to it, I'm not going to go into how big those alterations are, but they are there. Then I'm going to be a fan of it, and I'm at least in for the ride. Look, sometimes I enjoy a good train wreck, so, like, I'm kind of all in with this one. And I really enjoy the game itself. I enjoyed everything that the game brought to the table, and the majority of Final Fantasy VII Remake, comparatively to the original game in this part, is very, very similar. But it becomes relatively obvious that in the future the games are going to differ quite a bit. Nevertheless, Final Fantasy VII Remake is great. It's a great game with a lot of content. The visuals are stunning, and it is just an awesome JRPG. If you're still new to JRPGs, if you haven't played a lot of them, combat system is engaging, and the game has a lot to like. So I just give it a strong recommendation. Hopefully some of you guys aren't, like, upset with me, like, kinda pseudo-spoiling the game, but, like, I don't even think that's a spoiler at this point. Look, it's been, like, 4 months since the game has come out. I feel like people are aware of that fact. And if you were such a super avid Final Fantasy VII fan from back in the day, chances are you already bought the game, you already played the game, and that is pretty evident to you. Otherwise, $39.59 for it, I think, is a great buy, and I do think you should check it out. Other JRPG news, Sakura Wars is down to $39. Sakura Wars is pretty good. It's one of those JRPGs that's definitely for the more ardent JRPG consumer, given the fact that it does have a lot of Japanese tropes into it, but mechanically, it's a pretty good game. A big element of this game is building on the character relationship, so you really have to get into that element of the game. Overall, it's solid. $39 might be a little bit pricey, but generally speaking, if you're a fan of these kinds of JRPGs, you're probably going to have a good time with it. Doom Eternal, on the other hand, 50% off for $30. This is a awesome deal. This might be the best deal in the entire sale. Doom Eternal is fantastic. It is arguably the best game of the year. I'm going back and forth between, like, FF7 Remake, Doom Eternal, and Ghost of Tsushima at this point. Those are probably my top 3. I might be missing 1 or 2, but Doom Eternal is excellent. If you're a fan of a first-person shooter that is just mechanically stellar, Doom Eternal is really going to offer that. I have to say, from, again, a mechanical standpoint, Doom Eternal is one of the best and most satisfying first-person shooters that you're going to literally play ever, and I think from that standpoint, it is very much worth a playthrough. Multiplayer is still not anything to really write home about, but I thought the single player was excellent, and I would definitely give it a recommendation on that. And Shadow of Mordor down to $6, Wolf Among Us down to $7.49, which is pretty good. It's $6.74 if you're a Plus subscriber, so that's solid. If you guys don't know, Wolf Among Us is my favorite among the Telltale games. Mega Man Zero ZX Legacy Collection is $22.49. This includes Mega Man 0, 1 through 4, and Mega Man ZX and ZX Advent. 0, 1 through 4 are very challenging games. Are they satisfying? Yes, but they are brutally difficult. ZX, on the other hand, I love ZX, man. ZX was so good. It plays more like a Metroidvania game where there's a little bit more exploration. Game doesn't really hold your hand and tell you where to go, but a lot of exploration to be had. If I remember correctly, ZX Advent ended on a cliffhanger. I am not 100% sure about that, but from my recollection playing the game on the Nintendo DS, I do believe it did, and we never got a ZX3, of course, so hopefully at some point Capcom does go back to the franchise. I think the next game is going to be Mega Man X9, as crazy it is to think about that. But it seems like at this point Capcom is all in with Mega Man once again, and that's really encouraging to see. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 35% off, $39. A big patch just dropped today, so that is something to check out. Other deals are still available, like Borderlands 3, I believe that's down to $30. KCD Royal Edition is down to $20, that's pretty good. Borderlands 3, again, $30, but that game is, like, very cheap on other platforms. I think Best Buy had it for, like, $10, so yeah, bear that in mind. Probably would not buy Borderlands 3 at $30. West of Dead is down to $16. Path of the Crow Edition is $16.79. This is a pretty cool game. I actually played the beta quite a bit on PC, and I had a good time with it. This will end on August 11th, so this deal is ending a little bit quicker. I believe it's a separate deal from the summer sale deals. The Escapist is down to $5, that's pretty good. COD Ghost! If you want to go back and play COD Ghost 1979, COD Ghost, You know, I have a soft spot in my heart for that game. That was the game that, like, ended on the Eminem song, and we had the cliffhanger, and we never got a COD Ghost 2, so yeah, there you go with COD Ghost. 1979 for the Gold Edition is pretty not great, but again, I have a soft spot for COD Ghost. That was a launch title too, and I had some fun with it, even though I wasn't a big fan of the multiplayer. Injustice 1 Gods Among Us Ultimate Edition, that's $4.99. That's pretty decent, but Injustice 2 is worlds better. Journey to the Savage Planet, $18. That game is pretty good. If you want a game in that stylization, it's very colorful. That is a super, super colorful game, and that's definitely one thing of note. I believe the Yakuza games are all discounted. I see Yakuza 5 Remastered for $20, Yakuza 4 Remastered for $20, and I do believe the collection is on sale. Yes, it is. It is $45 for the collection. Look, these games are lengthy as all hell, so if you want to get Yak 0, Yak Kiwami 2, 3, 4, 5, and then get 6 as well, and then, hey, might as well pick up Judgment at that point as well and listen to that awesome theme song. Yeah, that's a lot of game time. I would say that if you're trying to do that, let's say you're like a college student or something, you would literally make that an entire summer project to play every Yakuza game, play Judgment, and then, hey, by next summer, Yakuza 7 would be out as well, and play Yakuza 7, so think about how crazy that is. Yakuza 3 Remastered is also $20. If you're gonna buy it, I would recommend you to just get the collection because there's a lot of good stuff in there, but definitely would give that a shout. Wargroove is down to $9.99. Really cool game, very reminiscent of a game like Advance Wars. Has a creation mode as well, so you can have a lot of extended content and a lot of longevity to that game. Rage 2 down to $12. Was not a fan of that game, but at 12 bucks, hey, I think that's a lot more palatable. I paid full price for that game, and that was a little bit disgusting, but you know, it has some quality components to it. Like mechanically, again, it's a solid first-person shooter. Story is nonsensical. Open world isn't that great. And yeah, 12 bucks is probably a pretty apt price point to pay for it. Borderlands Game of the Year Edition, that's Borderlands 1, is $9.89. I don't think that's all too bad. Probably give that a look. World War Z Game of the Year Edition is $25. World War Z is pretty awesome as a cooperative experience. Would give that a shot. Black Ops 4, $19.79. Hey, if you're a Call of Duty guy, you can check that out. I see Mega Man 11. Batman Arkham Collection, that's Arkham Asylum, City, and Arkham Knight, and I think the Arkham Knight Premium Pass, $15 for that, I think is pretty good. All of those games are really solid, very akin to the BioShock collection, where I think Batman Arkham Knight, not quite as good as Batman Arkham Asylum and Arkham City, but Arkham Asylum and Arkham City are elite level games, so that's not really saying a lot about Arkham Knight. Arkham Knight is still pretty damn good. Shenmue 1 and 2 for $12. Remothered Tormented Fears is on sale. DJ Max Respect, 15 bucks for that? Hell yeah, yo, get on that. That's an awesome music rhythm game. Some awesome soundtrack with a variety of stuff. You've got EDM on there. You've got some, you know, Japanese tunes, some really, really quality songs. I think they also added Guilty Gear music to it recently, so pretty awesome title. I would recommend that, and a lot of other deals are available. I need to do an in-depth video taking a look at the best sell. Sorry, I have not gotten around to that, but that's going to conclude this video. Definitely check out some of those deals. FF7 Remake, Doom Eternal, some good stuff there. So sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.